Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Roleplay Review, and this is going to be a long one, and it's also going to be one of the better episodes that I personally, it's one of my favorites, and it's also it's a lot of suspense. There's a lot of suspense in this episode, but it is a long one. So if you want to, you can always stick by for the long haul, because I'm going to do commentaries for everything that I feel I need to, comment on. But yeah, so we're going to be doing the Westbrook incident, which is going to be episode 12 for Blood Ties. Let me just make sure that everything works. Screen capture there. All right. So, without further ado, I think we are ready. Oh yeah, we might as well update or refresh the title as well. Let's play review. There we go. And yeah, category could be Daisy. There we go. All right, so if you want to, you can refresh your browser, and it should be showing the proper title right now. I thought you were going to end the stream when the game was... No. I'll take my thank you back. Yeah, do that. That's good. Good. Okay, yeah, so for anybody watching this episode of Roleplay Review, we have just gone through Super Nintendo, the Super Nintendo game Addams Family, just so you know. So this is actually one stream split up into two parts, so to speak. Two separate content. Okay, I think everything is in order. So let's do this. Here we go. This should be working. Very nice. And go. All right, perfect. Hey, CNET is also still here. Nice to see. This was a tough one to actually record. There was a lot of conflicts. I'm going to talk about them when we get to them. A lot of complications.
I woke up rested after my long journey, though finally having some bed covers would make the experience even better. It had been an interesting venture up north, but now it was time to get down to business. With everything I'd learned on my journey, high-riding ideas had gotten their claws in me and just wouldn't let go. I spent the next few days at home, planning, scavenging, and working on the homestead, all the while anticipating the return of my brother and my cousin. I had not heard anything, and I worried, in particular about the young one. Being Jimmy Jack's kid, he was unpredictable in a way that was not in his own best interest during a zombie apocalypse.
To say the least.
Was used to analyze the apolipoprotein E gene.
I found more of the strange tapes documenting the early days of the fall. And I don't know why, but it felt important that I gather them for the sake of the future, lest we fail to learn from the past.
Episode 12. The Westbrook Incident.
One day, the SATCOM alerted me to a general broadcast message.
Sir, I'm on the radio taking care of your request right now. Yes, Commander. Yes, sir. Clears throat. This is Lieutenant Buck with the Brotherhood of Tyr. Just one more reminder, we'll be hosting a welcome party in the Southern District of Westbrook tomorrow evening at 2100 Eastern. We'll have some food or alcohol available, but if you'd like to bring your own, you're more than welcome. Also, if anyone could bring a cassette player, that would be greatly appreciated. I did not bring mine because that was a valuable thing. We do ask that weapons remain sheathed and holstered while at the event. Come on down, meet our guys, and find out more about our organization. We hope to see you there in approximately 4.5 hours. Now, before we continue, I'm just going to say something here about these guys, the Brotherhood of Tyr. The Brotherhood of Tyr, when I saw this, I flipped out. I was like, whoa, shit, are they coming to this server? Because the Brotherhood of Tyr, if you've seen my earlier series, Adventures at New Hope, the Brotherhood of Tyr were on that server, the Divinity server as well. And they acted sort of as, like, they were sort of the law of the land. And having them actually transfer over to this server with everything that was going on in this server, that was actually something that, you know, you could do a lot with this. So I was like, oh, okay. Let's see if we can bring them in on our plans to overthrow the Pathfinders. So, yeah. And yes, this is a screenshot of the Discord.
B-Tier's coming here? Oh, man. I know these guys. The Brotherhood of Tyr, or B-Tier for short, was a group of elite battle-hardened soldiers who endeavored to move from place to place and help enforce the rule of local law wherever help was required.
That was actually a screenshot from Divinity server, I think.
These skilled and deadly warriors usually established a base from which to exert order onto the surrounding lands, and after that, it would almost be commonplace to see them move around in small units, helping settlements, as well as fighting bandits and infected.
B-Tier, I mean, like, in real life, the guys playing B-Tier, like, B-Tier is like a real hardcore military sim, like mil-sim clan, so they're, like, known throughout the various games of DayZ, I think Arma 3, like all those things, and they're really going in for like the mil-sim type of role playing on these role-playing servers.
The skills of these people were legendary. I knew of them from the mainland. I'd even by proxy had some dealings with them. If they were coming here, in time, Deer Isle would get a significant boost to morale, because B-Tier was sort of the antithesis to chaos. These guys were all about order and maintaining control, and if it was something that the chaotic lands of Deer Isle needed, it was a sense of order, a return to safety without being asked to pay for it. I had to check this out. I had to talk to them. I knew Rory and Dex might show up any day now, but this was too good an opportunity to pass up. If the Southlands were ever to have a fighting chance, it was time for me to head to Westbrook. And so, I once again found myself traversing the bridge at Ben's Crossing for another adventure on the main island. What would this journey have in store for me? I didn't know. I couldn't possibly know that around this same time tomorrow, I would be staring into the jaws of the wolf itself.
Okay, overly dramatic, much, I know, but that was like, I felt like that was a good, like, thing to say. Oh, and this is the first time I meet Corey. Oh, yeah. Memories. Corey was a good...
Hello there, anybody home?
Corey was a good guy.
Hello.
He's an Aussie, I think.
Hi there, mate. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good to know. What's your name?
Name's Corey.
All right,
What's up?
cool. My name is Robin. Robin Burley.
Oh yeah, nice to meet you. Where you from?
You too. I'm from down south by Oceanville.
Oh yeah, nice. Oceanville. New Haven? New Moon?
No, I'm not part of those groups, but we're practically next door neighbors. I'm head of the Burley family. We're a small group.
Oh yeah, nice.
Like right
Yeah.
here, we hadn't really made our mark yet. We were fairly new. I think we'd only been a part of the server for a month tops. So we were still pretty unknown at this point.
So, what you up to right now? Are you just cruising around?
Not up to much. I'm actually just moving because I'm part of Sanctuary.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't suppose you want to tag along. I'm on my way to Westbrook. There's going to be a welcoming party for a new group of people, apparently.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the Brothers of Tyr, if you've heard of them.
Okay. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna put some stuff away and then I'll come along.
Yeah, sure. So are you like new to Sanctuary, or you've been with them for a while?
Couple days at Sanctuary, but I've been on the island for a couple weeks.
I will always remember Corey the most with that freaking yellow hard hat on his head. That's like template Corey to me.
Okay. Nice. You seen any action?
Yeah, quite a few times, yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna be part of the Rangers?
Maybe.
Okay.
About a week or two, maybe.
All right. Well, mate, I wish you luck.
Thanks, man.
If he only knew what we would discover about Sanctuary later on, but this is like early on in his visit to Sanctuary, or his sojourn in Sanctuary, I think. Sojourn. His stay
So
at
this new
Sanctuary.
faction that's coming in, I'm guessing you're part of them?
No. I'm not part of them. I just want to see what they're like, basically.
Proof that Corey actually didn't catch what I was saying the first time I talked to him, because I did say explicitly that I was part of the Burley family, so he didn't didn't register with him.
They sounded
Oh, yeah.
interesting. Always nice to meet a new group, you know.
Yeah, hopefully they're cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless they're the Pathfinders. Yeah, you know about them, don't you?
Yeah.
I figured, like, you are living here right now, so yeah.
That's why he's moving.
Yeah, I know about them.
Yeah, well, I've heard a lot of um, people have been having problems with them. They go around demanding tribute and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest reasons why I'm moving.
Yeah, right? Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
And here comes the revolutionary in Robin Burley, up to the fore.
But see, we shouldn't have to do that. People of the South should not have to, like, move because of them.
I so wanted to start that fucking movement. Oh, I wanted to do that.
I'm not gonna say anything because it's not 100% confirmed.
I mean, we kind of did, but it sort of evolved into something else. You'll see, pretty much.
But a lot of groups are ending up.
Right? Like I
know the
heard,
Red Militia
yeah, I was gonna say
have been taking the Pathfinders on,
exactly.
and they've actually did quite well.
Yeah.
They managed to kill a whole bunch of them, and also, from what I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but they managed to kill the leader of the Arbiters.
I love the fact that Corey is saying the abattoirs. Like he's speaking French, like the abattoirs. It's like the arbiters, okay?
Which is an ally of Pathfinder.
Oh wait, who's an ally with the Pathfinders?
The Arbiters.
The abattoirs.
Oh, now everything is falling into place.
Why is he
Okay,
saying it like that? I never understood that.
And those two groups are pretty big when they fight together.
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
Yeah, so just to break it down, we're a small group, the Burley family. We have an issue with the Pathfinders because the Pathfinders basically were the big bad bandit group in the south, and they pretty much extorted people everywhere, like simple settlers. They wanted tribute for basically it was a protection racket. So Robin, my character, kind of wanted to kick them out of the south. Meanwhile, in the north, there are a lot of powerful groups like Sanctuary, Duskar. Foremost of them are the Riders, but the Riders seem to be the sleeping bear. We didn't really get the impression that they wanted to do anything about the Pathfinders. But there was also two other groups, the Arbiters and the Red Militia. Now, the Arbiters, as I get told here by Corey, apparently were allied with the Pathfinders because the Arbiters were also bandits. They remained bandits to this day. I don't think they exist anymore, but after the Pathfinders were gone, which happens a lot later, they were still like a bandit group. But the Red Militia, on the other hand, they were simply communist, and they did what all communists try to do. Spout their propaganda, basically. The new communist ideal, we are here for the people, like that. And they weren't really outspoken bandits or anything. They were just pretty paranoid. They were very, like, they could be friendly, but they could also be very, like, paranoid. If you, like, draw your gun, and they'll be like, oh, what are you doing, comrade? Like that. So I had an idea about bringing the Red Militia into the fold in sort of an alliance to kick the Pathfinders out of the south, preferably like destroying them as a group completely. Now, the Red Militia, I hadn't met with them yet, and apparently, as Corey is telling me now, that they are pretty big, pretty strong to even like attack the Pathfinders and the Arbiters when they were allied. That is some firepower in that way. Like that is a powerful group.
But the Red Militia has done quite well against both of them.
Yeah.
Since Red Militia is also a pretty big group, and Red Militia don't take any shit.
No, I've also gotten that impression. Interesting.
Yeah, the Red Militia is actually not that bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. They were very, like, the people playing on this server were very divided on whether or not Red Militia were good or bad. Some viewed them as scum. Others viewed them as okay, even, like, nice to deal with, It was really a weird time.
Like, I'll be honest, they're a bit of a paranoid group of people, but
Yeah.
they get shit done.
They do. Now it all started making sense. So that's why Robbie had been so pissed with the Reds. They had killed the leader of the Arbiters, even with the Pathfinders backing them up. Damn. I was really beginning to rethink my decision of bypassing the Reds on my northern trip. I should probably have looked them up and opened up a dialogue regarding mutual goals. Huh. So yeah, like I said, I'm not with any faction per se. I'm just like the head of my family right now. The Burley family, we're
currently looking for the other members of our family, but so far 3 of us have come together after the fall. It's
No, yeah.
it's me. I'm Robin Burley. I'm the oldest, and then there's my brother Rory
Yeah.
and my cousin Dex. And we actually split up a while back, and I haven't found them in a while. Like we haven't seen each other in a while. Hey, Gunny. So I don't know actually where they are, but I'm hoping they're safe. All right, shall we pick up the pace a little bit? It's getting dark.
Alright.
So they did say that it was somewhere. It was like in the southern section of Westbrook. And watch out for creepers. You know they're deadly at night. We don't want to pull them all.
Oh, yeah. I've been ambushed by them before over here.
Alright, so it should be somewhere here. Keep a watchful eye, like see if you can see any lights anywhere where they might be. Spot any fires.
Yeah. Wait, I see a gazebo. Oh no, that's a police station.
Okay. It's actually pretty creepy to go through here. Nice one, nice one.
Jeez, they're a pain in the ass to kill at night.
I know. I actually do need to eat something here. Like
Yeah, good idea.
I've been running all the way from Oceanville, basically.
Westbrook was as terrifying as any deserted city infested with zombies could be in the middle of the night. I was glad that Corey was with me. Though I had just met him, he came across as a decent guy, and being with Sanctuary sure gave him credit enough for me to trust him.
Okay, that would be something that I would reflect on later. Like, at this point in time, I viewed everybody with Sanctuary to be good people, but I didn't know that Sanctuary also kind of had a little bit shady. Basically, Sanctuary was kind of class segregated, so they treated, as far as I was told by other people that later, that Sanctuary was, they had the elite and the inner circle, and then they had everybody else who wasn't really worthy of sticking by, you know, like, we'll get to that later. But anyway, let's keep going.
Minutes of exercise every day.
Yeah, I know. You sound like my mother. I'm sorry, but you do. Speaking of his mother.
Yeah, mine used to say the same thing.
Yeah, right. That's the thing with mothers. They always want the best for us.
I didn't keep track of where our conversation was going, and suddenly, because I was careless with my words, the words of my choosing hit my heart as hard as a punch to the gut. Reality was that the mother that I was talking about so casually, along with others of my family, was missing. Feelings of guilt over not being able to be there for her as she had been for me, coupled with the anxiety of not knowing what had happened to her. She had been a gentle soul, always caring for me and the rest of the kids equally and passionately. She had made sure that we all had gotten a fair upbringing, and even when I stepped out of line and ended up with some shady people, she had never lost faith in me. I wanted so badly to see her again, to tell her of what had become of me, how I was trying to take care of our family as best as I could.
Yeah, I know, Elder.
But wishing never got results. The painful truth of the matter was that she wasn't here, and I had to keep going for the family.
Looks pretty deserted. Hello? Anybody here? Like, I'm screaming in game right now. You can see that by the mic symbol.
There's
Three,
like nobody here.
three lines, that carries your voice, like, really far.
You getting
No one
anything?
was on the radio.
No one's on the radio.
Nah.
Looks completely... Oh, that was a letdown.
I love how the music is really fitting right there.
Strange. When you finally show up to one of these things, and there's no, I've been running from Oceanville for God's sake. Oh Lord.
Hang on, it's gonna be worth it.
Well, I guess that whole exercise really hits home now. Alright, fine. Okay, this is weird.
The SATCOM was my way of, you know, referring to the Discord channel. The Discord of survivalists had, still have actually, a radio channel which is dedicated to in-character radio chatter. So even if you weren't in the game, or even if you aren't in the game, it's still valid today. You can still talk in character if you have a, if your character, even if you're logged off, if your character has a radio on him or her, you can still talk in the radio channel on their Discord in character with others. So that's what I'm checking whenever I'm like talking about the SATCOM. That is pretty much it.
The message that they were broadcasting said, "See you tomorrow at 9." But it also said, "See you in 4 hours." It actually said, "See you in 4 hours." They dated it to tomorrow, but they said, "See you in 4 hours," which is weird because that would mean that this is the time. Still. So, had this whole trip been for nothing?
Nope.
Had it been worth it? Or just time wasted?
You'll see.
I mean, Rory or Dex could be at home right now wondering where the hell I was. But in the end, I believed that I'd made the right call. My aims for meeting with B-Tier was to get in good with their colonial presence on these islands. If I could manage to do that, I might even be able to persuade them to take up the calling of helping us free the Southlands from the greedy Pathfinders. But Corey and me had looked around everywhere in Westbrook, and we couldn't see either them or even the slightest trace of other lights in the darkness. However, suddenly, I did see something else. Well, this was weird.
Robin?
What? Who's there? Is that Rory?
My brother.
Rory, you
Get over here, you
douchebag!
son of a bitch.
What the fuck? What?
Oh,
Give me a hug. Give me a
fuck,
hug.
I missed you.
Give me a
Get
hug.
over
Give me a
here.
hug. Give me a hug. There you go. Thank God I saw you. Where have you been? You've been out of contact for days.
Well, actually, a correction, he saw me. So, like, I always take note of that. I shouldn't really have said that. Like, thank God I saw you. I should have said, thank God you saw me.
Well, for the last day or so, I've been held up in that school over there.
Really?
I was trying to find my way out in the dark. That did not go well.
Fuck.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, this is pardon me.
I'm
This is
doing
my
alright myself.
this is my brother Rory. This is Corey. Rory and Corey.
Oh, nice.
Hello, Corey.
So it looks like he survived.
He did.
Yeah,
I was actually worried about you, man.
man, I got some stories for you.
Yeah, I have some of my own as well.
We've been separated in-game. We've been separated for about 3 days. I'm not talking about, like, the game's rotation of the sun, because that, I think, is fairly quickly. I mean, it's sped up. But, like, we've been on our own for 3 days doing, like, our own things for a while. So we've been separated for a while.
We actually came here because we checked the SATCOM band. There was a new group that was going to be established here called the Brothers of Tyr. And they were going to have like a welcoming party here, but I'm not seeing anything here.
Okay, this also requires a little bit of explanation because Rory, i.e. Medi, who plays my brother Rory here, he was also on Divinity, so he knows full well who the Brotherhood of Tyr are. And, like, out of character, like, not online, we were actually really excited to get together with B-Tier and see if we could, like, get them on our side against the Pathfinders. So we were really, like, we were really, like, giddy with the expectations.
The whole town is pitch black.
But, of course, our characters don't really know that much about them. I think I retconned it a little bit so that Robin actually had some. Oh yeah, I did say that Robin had some dealings with them in the past. Like during the fall of civilization, Robin had some business or whatever, but that's in the past.
There's a unformed, what looks to be either an old-time raided compound or one that's still being built up on the hill over there. But other than that, I haven't really seen any signs of life.
It's very strange. Alright. If I was a little bit more paranoid, I'd say that was a setup for, an ambush or something.
Yep. Smells like a trap.
Somewhat.
Well, these things happen, it's true. But that'd be a terrible way to make a splash to piss off every big big fucking, survivor group out there. I mean, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna live long if that's their mentality.
Alright, well thank God I found you. Where's
Again, Rory found me. I have to give him credit.
Dex? Have you seen him?
Yeah. We parted ways, a little bit north of here some time ago. I ain't seen him since.
Dex was our neurotic cousin, 16 years old. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, he was unpredictable in a way that was not good in a post-apocalyptic setting. Like, you really needed to keep a cool head, and Dex was anything but. He would be really unpredictable. Here, he's still alive. Spoiler alert. But yeah, so he's going to be fairly important in the episodes to come. But yeah, he just to clarify, that's our cousin. He's not our brother. He's our cousin.
North of here. I hope he didn't go to Purgatory.
Purgatory was the base of the Arbiters. Massive complex.
Oh, he didn't go there. That's where I went.
Oh, you went there. Oh, you... Okay.
I have a question real quick. Do you got a screwdriver on you or some pliers, please?
I don't have that, unfortunately.
Okay. How about you, Corey?
Yeah.
Mind if I use them real quick? Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be right back with that. Be right.
Oh, did you spot something that you want to take home? Oh, yeah, of course it did. Always the pack rats.
Probably a locker.
Yeah.
Or something.
What was it you wanted?
Rifle safe.
Nice.
You know what? I actually have one that I've put down in the homestead.
Oh, nice.
Give me 5.
Yeah. Smack.
Yeah, that's good.
Where are you coming from, Corey?
Sanctuary.
Thanks.
Always the pack rat. Check your own back. Well, in this game, I mean, everybody pretty much have the big backpacks. It's just to be able to carry more items. You know how that goes. You've been playing PUBG. Have you ever played DayZ? It's kind of the same. You need bigger stuff to have more stuff,
Yeah, the yellow armbands are a telltale sign. Just so you know. I've been to Sanctuary. Sanctuary are cool people.
Ooh! really, really, the things I would discover about Sanctuary later makes me cringe a little bit when I hear myself say this, because you have to remember, I did not know that much about Sanctuary. I only knew what I had visited Sanctuary 1, and I'd been there at a layover at the halfway in, and for what I knew, as far as I knew, they seemed to be civil. So here, at least, that might as well be true.
I'd recommend them wholeheartedly if you want to visit someplace, Rory.
That's true. The
I have
inn was
some
actually
information
awesome.
to share
Zombie
with you. Some kind of coincidental information about somebody we know.
Oh, you got the standalone? Okay, good. Oh yeah, the mystery about Chloe Bell.
Oh, fill
Keeps
me in.
going.
Leave me in suspense.
Well, do you remember Chloe, the doc?
Oh yeah, Chloe Bell, yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently she doesn't go by the name Chloe anymore. She's up there by the name
really?
of Deborah. And she's actually running a tavern.
You see, this is just confusing.
Yeah, I know.
This is just confusing to me.
Remember what we found? The notes?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
We found an extortion note from the Pathfinders on an abandoned house a couple episodes back, just to recap.
that's like the beginning of the iceberg, like the tip of the iceberg.
Oh well, I can't say I'm surprised by that. Fuck.
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued. Which note was this?
Well, we actually found a note on a house over by Milo, and
Yeah.
like all the buildings there are abandoned basically, but there are signs of recent habitation. But there was one that had a note specifically from our friends, you know who I'm talking about, and they said, fuck, I should have brought it along actually.
It was, like, oh yeah, this is what's gonna happen if you don't pay your taxes, smiley face, or some shit like that. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And like, if you don't pay up, we'll find you. Just come to.
Well, I mean, don't forget what they did to that one guy. Fuck, what was his name? We escorted him up to the outcast.
Oh yeah, Dax, not Dex, but Dax.
Dax.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Dax.
They full on.
Is
They
he
kicked in his shit.
the writer?
No, he's part of the
No, no,
Outcasts.
No. Yeah, he's part of the outcast.
Yeah, he got what was it? He got like his whole base completely.
Yeah, they
Fun fact, I don't think the Outcasts were a group here by this time anymore. I think the Red Militia had wiped them out.
took everything.
Yeah.
He was like, he said he was doing like charity and welfare and shit, like, just kind of like a stop along the road for people. And they,
Well, I'm gonna give you guys a little info. Before I joined Sanctuary, me and 3 other friends actually fought the Pathfinders. And,
Really?
it was just the 4 of us. We pretty much took on the whole of Cushville. And we shot down maybe 11 of them, just the 4 of us. So if you get into a confrontation with them and you guys are good with a gun, honestly, they're pretty bad,
But I'm not that good with a gun either.
in my opinion.
oh, I do feel like they got numbers and defense on their side, but that's pretty much it. I mean, if you don't, you never see them alone. Fuck.
No, that's true.
Always together.
That's true.
Yeah.
And like I was telling your brother, the Reds pretty much put a number on them as well.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. We should talk to the Reds.
The commies.
Yeah, but
You
who
wouldn't talk to
cares?
the commies.
Look, they don't like the Pathfinders. I mean, who's to say that they will, they might like us,
We're very likable.
How's that fucking thing go? Making a deal with Beelzebub to cast out the devil or some shit?
I mean,
yeah.
Listen, I will do whatever it takes to free the
Well-
Southlands.
The thing is, right, the Reds, they not bad. It's just
But see,
they're
I've heard
very-
this also, but
I knew Rory would be on the fence when it came to contacting the Red Militia. He did have a political idealist streak to him, and was always more interested in those things than me when we were younger, being part of many debates regarding society, economics, cultural hoo-ha, and so forth. This, of course, also meant that he would feel strongly about certain ideologies which might be askew to his own. I never had that problem. Hell, I was the one who more or less became a disappointment in general when Ma and Pa figured out that I was mixed up with the wrong crowd. What the hell would I care about political agendas? I wanted to bring Rory around, but it would be tough. In that regard, B tier might be a better alternative.
I was gonna ask you, Corey, where would you stand in an in a possible conflict? So I'm asking him if he basically would like to help us against the Pathfinders, and he's just about to answer when this happens.
Immediately as I asked, I regretted asking, because I knew it was essentially putting Corey in a difficult position. I knew Sanctuary was neutral in this whole thing, and as a part of Sanctuary, Corey was bound to their pacts and treaties. He gave no response, but I could tell that he was thinking the same thing as me. He wanted to, but he couldn't.
I have a feeling if something goes
And
down
also,
against
okay.
the guys we're talking about, it's not going to be a bunch of factions. It's going to be a bunch of people.
Also, I want to spread word about this, like quietly, low key, but like somehow. I want to I want to raise awareness. Here we go.
Since I am part of Sanctuary and I'm neutral,
This happens. No message received for 6 seconds.
I've got to be kidding.
Disconnected. Ah, shit.
yeah, boy.
Okay, 1-0.
Passing the time while waiting for Rory to relog after server crash.
2, 3. Okay, alright. Still 1-0.
So we're doing rock, paper, scissors here while waiting for him to relog.
1, 2, 3. Ah, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, boy.
Oh,
If we were
okay.
playing for nails, you'd be broke.
I know. Okay. Before we continue, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right, let's pick up where we left off. You were saying something.
All right, keep going with the story.
Yeah, if there is going to be a big conflict, then between that party and the other party,
Yeah.
then hit me up. Just call me on the IC radio as a watcher.
And there we had it, our very first ally. I didn't exactly know how he was going to get around the diplomatic restrictions, but for me, the mere fact that he wanted to throw his lot in with us was a victory in and of itself. I decided not to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Right.
I hope you guys find your other brother. But
Oh,
he's fine. He should,
he's our cousin.
I mean,
He's a cousin. He's a cousin. Don't call that motherfucker my brother.
We tease him a lot. Like Dex was like the little runt of our group, you know. So we there's like episode 16 is almost all about teasing him. But yeah. By the way, we're just about to split up here when we actually find what we're looking for. And now it gets interesting.
That's a little bit too
Oh,
close
wrong.
for comfort.
but yeah, as I was saying, your best bet is to get a few guys in the south to do the thing and then go speak to the Reds. I know it's dealing with the devil,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah,
the Reds definitely taking them on.
they could bring us the
firepower that we need? That would be
Because
interesting.
they've already
probably the
pretty
biggest
much
issue
did
there.
a massive number. They already did like a massive damage to the Pathfinders and Abattoirs. The Riders are pretty big as well. That's why Pathfinders know if they mess with the Riders, then it's game over.
Okay, but yeah,
Yeah,
what
the
we
other
need to
AK
be
takes
doing
the,
is,
takes the,
except for
760.
contacts, we also need to get better gear. That's one thing that we need to do.
Yep.
1-0 tip. Paris Island. There's the ATC
Oh.
tower.
Getting sleepy.
Hit the ATC tower because that's where I found like your medical pouches and
Oh.
stuff like that. And I've also found I found a PKM there before.
Paris Island could be a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, there's
Did
some
you hear
guy
that?
over there.
Yeah, your spare batteries over here.
His name is Baguette. Hello.
Thank
Hello.
Are you guys here for the party?
We were, but there was nobody here.
Oh, it's because I guess you weren't on the right location. Maybe you just follow me if you want to, guys. I'm Commander Mike. But
Oh,
call me
Mike.
Baguette if you want to.
You can call me Baguette.
Oh,
Are you
nice.
a brother of
Baguette.
Tyr?
Yes, I am, of course.
Oh, okay. I'm actually
We've been
going
looking
to.
for you guys.
I'm gonna pass out soon, so
Yeah.
I need to sleep. But you have like a
Yeah,
fire.
for sure. Come over.
Okay.
Finally, we'd found them. I didn't recognize this Commander Mike, but B-Tier was a large organization, and their colonial presence on these islands would most likely be a splinter force from the main body. I was looking forward to getting to know these guys and see if I would recognize anyone.
So how you doing, Mike?
Was it to me or to the Thai guy?
To you.
He
You
was
said your name
asking
is Mike, right?
Yeah, Mike. Yes. I heard mate. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. Thanks. How about you?
Oh,
We're
I'm
doing
not
good.
so bad.
There we go.
Great. Here's the fire.
Oh,
If
thank
you
God.
want to, stay down a little bit. There you go. Please take a seat.
Sweet.
Go to bed. Whatever.
Ugh. So just pretend that I am sitting here and talking to you.
Thank you.
Oh Lord. So,
So,
Brothers of Tyr, tell us about it yourself. What are you guys about?
Well, what do you want to know? Is there anything specific you would like to know, or just basically the whole story of B-Tier?
oh, what's tier? What's tier?
Tier, it's the what's like, you know what? Want to know who Tier is, or who we
Yeah,
are?
what I don't know what it is. The tier, TYR. I don't.
Tier is the
We had finally found B-Tier, but so had another group. Suddenly, I heard a very recognizable voice coming from right behind me, which made my blood freeze.
This guy, right? He's sleeping off some early beers or what?
Rascal.
That's
Um,
exactly what.
I'm almost passing out.
He had some
so-
champagne earlier, and I think the champagne hit him.
He's so recognizable. Not just that, we had a
Okay.
beer as well.
Rascal. And everywhere I looked, I saw Pathfinders. They must have caught the same SATCOM broadcast that I'd seen. I looked at Rory and I could see his eyes seeking mine, and we both knew this was a fucked up situation beyond anything we could have anticipated. Here we were at the main camp of B-Tier, and who should show up but the fucking Black Stag itself, the only people we did not want to meet. Panic gripped me even harder as I couldn't tell if they had overheard us before or not. But I made sure to present a casual front. I stayed by the fire and listened.
Our commander, that guy over here. Yeah, so we've got our little building here. Unfortunately, one of the Zeds followed us inside.
I want to say this as a comment, just right now I'm doing commentary. This was perfect. I remember actually being here and I was like thinking, oh my God, this is going to be great content. Because we had no idea they, of all people, were going to show up. We were here actually trying to enlist B tier into, like, you know, the movement against the Pathfinders. And we show up at the same fucking time as the Pathfinders show up. What are the odds? But it's like, yeah, so we had to, like, deal with this now.
And we got some tables and chairs, we got some food in the back, and we got some alcohol and some wood.
And I know both me and Medi, who's playing Rory, we were both like, we were really like, you know, we had butterflies in our stomach, like, shit, what are we gonna do? Like, I remember it vividly, feeling like, you know, the nervousness. It was so much
For
fun.
once, I found myself praising my brother for not being slow on the uptake. He'd kept his cool from the moment he'd seen that black stag armband, just like me. I had to get him away from here, but I also wanted to hear what the Pathfinders were going to talk about with B tier. Why had they shown up here? What was their agenda?
You guys have to take precautions for people passing through your town. As of right now, we're not too weary about that. We're not too concerned about that. We all did learn that the communist group are close by in these lands as well.
Yeah, they're a fucking problem.
Oh no! Neither of them were partial to the Red Militia, and might find common ground here. This was bad. Really bad. If the Pathfinders got in good with B tier, it could destroy everything we had been working for. This had to be dealt with. But first things first, we needed to get out of here. We didn't know if our safety was compromised by what we'd been talking about just mere moments ago. I desperately needed to talk to Rory in private.
Hey, I'm Cashman, dude. I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
Oh, you sound nice, but your mask is terrifying.
Oh, dude, don't worry about this mask, dude. It's just a mask of the Joker.
I see.
Thing to be worried about, right?
Yeah. We were also, I think, actually, is that a sanctuary armband there or something?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, that's nice. Yeah, met wait, who's this with the sanctuary then?
For sure.
My name is Corey.
Corey, okay, yeah, I don't think I met you. I met Cameron, Deborah, Matrix, and a few of the
I'm
people
Commander
coming in and out of
Mike
sanctuary.
They call me the guy.
Nice to meet you, Corey.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, you drunk already, bro?
Yeah, to find a place to lay down.
Yeah, I
Aye,
think
sounds good
that
to
could
me.
be a good idea. We're both like, yeah, maybe we should probably split, you know,
Aye.
where we can talk in private.
Do you have
Sip it in. Slowly.
anything to write on?
We're always kind of on mute. Oh,
Like a box of ammo?
No. I have, yeah, I don't have any. I came pretty late.
Okay, yeah, me too. Faking a yawn. Ugh.
Let's go find a place for us to
Yeah,
bunker down.
Now we need to leg it.
Let's go.
They're right there. Fuck, I couldn't see
I know.
shit. Tried to get Micah off to the side. Yeah, they have to fucking know, dude. They just let the devil in their goddamn front door.
Yeah. There must be some way we can get word to them. Fucking hell. Like if
I
I
told
had
them to pass it up the chain of command, but I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if they're gonna take it seriously. They're acting all fucking charismatic and shit.
Let's get in here. Let's get in here.
Go upstairs.
Yeah. Okay, seriously. We need something. I was thinking, like, if I could just have a sheet of paper. I have a black pen. Like, just leave a note
Oh
there.
fuck, like that.
Yeah, and just leave it.
Oh, that's.
you know.
Oh no. I thought you meant you needed ammo for something good. Here, I got you.
Oh.
I thought you actually. I thought you needed it for like a gun.
No. I was just thinking, like, yeah, perfect. And we can write something like, don't trust the Pathfinders. You know what I mean?
There's a pen.
That was so messed up.
Dude, if they don't buy our warning, we are fucked.
Yeah, but
We might
let's...
as well move north.
Yeah, I know. I also want to know what happened to Watcher, you know, Corey. I mean, I feel bad
He
just
went in
leaving
with
him
them,
there.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I genuinely felt guilty for just running away because Corey, we just been talking with him about like we got him as our first like, you know, under the table sort of like hush hush ally, and we just left him and he was alone with all the pathfinders like, oh shit. Felt a little bit bad about that.
I mean, we need to get back there and just, you know, get in contact with him.
Motherfucker's voice is so goddamn distinct, you could hear him a mile away.
No,
Fuck.
I know. That fence guy and
I
also
shot myself
Rascal.
as soon as I heard that fucking his voice. I was like, oh god damn it.
Can you hear how excited we are?
Oh yeah, you know what? They were talking when you were away with Mike. They were talking about joining forces against the Reds.
Ah, those
Yeah, I know. We need, you know what? We need someone to recon. Either I or you go and check if they're still there.
on it.
Before I knew it, Rory was out the door. He always took it upon himself to do the risky work, even though I have told him time and time again to not put himself in danger needlessly. This time, however, we both knew what was at stake, and I was not going to waste energy arguing if he felt like he could do this. Quite frankly, we didn't have the time. Who knew what the Pathfinders were roping B-tier into? As more time passed, every second counted. And as I sat there, waiting, every second is exactly what I counted.
And then, yeah.
Then I got a message from Rory over Satcom telling me to meet up just outside. He was bringing someone with him.
Now this is a guy who is part of the B tier. He's like third in command or something like that. And he was actually part of B tier when they were on Divinity. And we start off by actually acknowledging that.
OC is Havoc still running with you guys?
Havoc. But I don't think he was on B tier.
Yeah, he was. I think he was Ashley actually. I think
Is
it was
Marley
other
still
name.
around?
Yeah, I think he is.
Were you both on Divinity?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Ego. He was the leader of New Hope, and I'm Medi. I was the leader of the Drifters.
Nice to see you, man.
Let's see too.
It was it felt very like nice to have people who were familiar, that you were familiar with, and you kind of shared the same origins a little bit. Like, I know the brothers of Tier like play a lot of games and stuff like that, but having played on the same server as them before this kind of made it felt like we could relate to them a little. You know, we felt like they were a familiar bunch, you know. It felt nice.
Dutch was a longtime veteran of B tier and one of the guys in charge of their expansion onto Deer Isle. As it would happen, he was one of the individuals which my contact back in the day had been dealing with when Gregory's smuggling ring, the outfit I had been running with, was involved in supplying troops engaged in overseas action before and during the fall.
Yeah, that was just me trying to connect the in-character story and make sort of an excuse for why we could be as familiar with this guy as we were, you know, like just to connect it, make it an icy excuse. So, yeah.
So he had caught wind of me through our mutual third party. As this was the first time we met face to face, however, he was understandably reserved and inquisitive.
But before we continue this, what you guys said, how can I, trust you two from my perspective?
Okay.
Like,
Fair
Let's
enough.
go for it.
What are you?
You're
What
much
are you?
more eloquent than I am.
You sending me to do that? Okay, fine.
I don't know if I could.
Okay, so we basically came back here after the fall of civilization, and we're trying to find our family. Long story short, we're trying to like establish as many positive connections with the rest of the residents of the island and whatnot. And pretty soon, we discovered that the Pathfinders. We met them, and we were trying to like trade with them and stuff, and then they were like acting surprised, and when they were like, trade, you're gonna give us gifts, of course.
Listen to the way they talk.
Yeah,
You gotta
listen to
the
that.
rascal.
Definitely.
You gotta listen to the subtext and everything they fucking say, man. They're
Yeah.
extortionists. And if you don't believe us, I understand. And I wouldn't believe us either. 'Cause it's coming
Here's
out
the
of nowhere,
thing.
but
Here's the thing. They
I want to
don't
hear you guys out.
they don't fuck with you if you're like a big group and if you're established. But if you go in there like one guy, they are going to like stop you. They are going to ask you to
Three
give
guys
you
even.
stuff. And if you like base yourself in the Southlands, they are going to ask for taxes, quote unquote.
just look around, man. Travel the area. You'll see bases that are busted in. You'll see notes left by them everywhere.
Yes, talk to the outcasts, talk to New Haven, especially Carter in New Haven. Talk
Oh, that
to
guy fucking hates him.
yes, talk to Vincent in Sanctuary. He's been held up
Oh,
by them.
that chick from the Church of Prophets.
Eve.
Eve. Oh yeah, they didn't actually rob her, but they did scare her quite a bit. Yeah. There's a lot of people. Just ask around. Do some groundwork.
With, you're new around here. We gotta let you guys figure this stuff out. You'll figure it out in your own as time goes on. But the thriving communities, they're all up north, man.
Yeah.
Down here,
The democratic
we're
communities are up there. Down here, the Pathfinders told us that it's sort of a dog eat dog kind of situation down south. But the problem is, they use it as
They're
a way
the dogs.
to
They're the only
justify.
fucking dogs, man.
Yeah, I know. They use it to justify their acts.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think almost everyone's got beef with them at some point.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
how come they haven't joined together and eliminated the threat?
Okay, do you want to
What?
take this now, Rory? Because we literally talked to Corey about this, like this night.
We got there's very little unification, man. There's no coordination in the North. People, like, yeah, I'm gonna agree with the Pathfinders. The way they're gonna phrase it, yeah, the people in the North, they sit behind their walls. They live the good life. There's no strife up there. They don't have want or need. Down here, though, things are a bit different.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll say this. When me and Rory or Medi met up with people and we were going to explain stuff, like talk about exposition and all that, Medi always gave me the responsibility of talking, and I appreciated that. That was very kind of him, because he knew that I liked to talk and like explain stuff and all that. But hearing him now, I'm gonna have to say that I felt like he sold himself a little bit short, because he's really good at explaining things too. Like he keeps in mind to bring up relevant stuff, and that's a good thing to do. I feel like sometimes I kind of trail off and talk about stuff that might not be as relevant to the questions being asked. So I'm actually, I feel thankful that I had Medi with me.
I mean, they do have conflicts up north, but they care about what happens
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Honestly, we made a good pair, me and Medi. We had our differences, but I'm fairly proud of what we accomplished, I have to say.
Yeah, nobody really cares
They
about the
don't- I mean-
Southlands. The Pathfinders are unchallenged down here, so they can pretty much throw their weight around and do whatever they want.
There's a lot of discontent with them, obviously, but the fact is, man, like, we're the Burley family. We're not big. We're just a few fucking dudes with
Yeah.
little rifles and fucking
But
sticks.
we
like,
live here.
there's a lot of people in the South. It's not a dead zone. It's it's vibrant, man. There's communities everywhere, but
Yeah, there's boarded up houses everywhere.
everyone's got to pay the fucking taxes.
Yeah, that's why they're empty. Because people have left. They can't pay them.
Watcher, the guy that was there from the sanctuary, man. We just spoke to him. His name is fuck, what was his name?
Corey.
Corey, that's right. I mean, yeah, no, he had a spat with the Pathfinders. He fought them good and then ran up north, like everyone else does. Fuck, everyone abandons the south because they got their fucking grip on it.
Yeah, my third in command, Lieutenant Buck, is talking to him right now because the leader pushed him to the side, saying that he's gonna talk business or talk about.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I was there in the room. I'm quiet. I like to read in the room. I like to see personalities. I like to see, conflicting energies in the room. Well, I mean, as of right now, I'm starting to trust you guys, and I have an open mind, and I really want to talk from RP's perspective.
I like that he's saying like outright, I'm starting to trust you guys. Like from an RP standpoint, I don't think that is something you actually say. But then again, this was something that happened like very quickly. So I mean, if he wants to be that blunt with it, I kind of feel like, yeah, I'll give that a pass because it's like it works pretty much. He gets the message across. We understand where we're at with him and all that, so that's good. But it just feels so funny to hear him say that, and I'm like, I think that's okay. That's a little bit,
But I got a question to ask. Is Pathfinders like the most tactical group in the land? Or...
Fuck no. No.
I mean, I don't
Not
know.
even close,
I don't
man.
know. I stumbled onto their frequency. That's actually one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, Rory. I managed to overhear them once when I was traveling north, and they were together on the frequency. They were like coordinating stuff, like where they were looting and all that, and they were in constant contact. I don't know if that was like
That's
temporary.
surprising. I just figured they were bandits with walls.
Yeah, no, I
did
think
not
they're
know.
like semi-paramilitary or whatnot. I don't know.
stick with this video. Once we reach a certain point, I'm going to tell you guys to just take some time to tell you about something which happened when we were recording this, which had me almost completely quit role-playing for good, because I had made such a blunder. But I actually, this is the commentary track here, so I actually managed to cut it in a way so that you can't really tell, but I made a fool out of myself, which actually almost cost us the entire alliance. And I'm going to tell you about that when we get to that point.
But they have some coordination at least. And I will say this, every major group here considers the Pathfinders nuisances. Like, at least.
And I think the reason
Gotcha.
that it's really important for you to be aware of this information, even if you don't fully
Yes.
buy into it, is that you guys are moving in.
Yeah.
It was difficult to determine whether or not Dutch fully believed us. He certainly was taking notes, but he kept his cool, as opposed to the admittedly easily excitable Burlee brothers in the room with him. But here was finally a chance to turn the tide for the oppressed South. If we could simply show B-Tier who the Pathfinders really were before they got in too deep with them, then we'd have a major power backing us up in the liberation of the Southlands. I just love the fact that the Southlands, both me and Mehdi, who plays Rory, again, we actually fell into it. We really embraced, like, trying to defend the Southlands, as that was, like, where we grew up. In story, it was actually where we grew up in character. And it really felt natural to just embrace that and be all like very protective of the Southlands. So it was just natural when we saw how the Pathfinders were trying to extort people living in the South. We just felt like we needed to do something about that. So I like that. It kind of felt natural to just assume that role.
Yeah,
Exported.
they're past.
But if you got a crew with you, it's not likely. Or if they're, if they're well fattened, they won't fuck with you. But I mean, it's like a flip of the coin, man. We've heard so many horror stories from what these dudes do, but at the same time, they have not specifically done these things to me. They've threatened, but I mean, everyone else has had much worse out of it.
I mean,
We've
remember
actually
the
been pretty
first
lucky.
time we went into Cushville? Dex had to throw over a medikit, and I
Oh
threw
yeah,
over the axe. Remember? I
the
almost
axe.
hit
Yeah, I
Rascal with the
remember. I
axe.
forgot about
Yeah,
it. I forgot.
and they were like, didn't offer us anything or anything. It was like, yeah,
But
good. Now
yeah,
you've paid your tribute.
they talk about, we mentioned trade, and they're like, trade? Well, we're not talking about trade, we're talking about gifts.
Exactly.
They're bandits by other words, but they're very eloquent about it.
I will also say this: uh, think twice before you start something with the Reds. I mean, don't buy into this whole like anti-communist propaganda that the Pathfinders are spreading, because the Reds are one of the most like established groups as well. And while they are paranoid, Corey told me that.
And commies.
Yeah. But they are still trying to create sort of a community as well. Like, you know what I mean?
B tier has had very aggressive common groups in the past that we
I
had to
gotcha.
exterminate.
Just be careful because you don't want to piss off the enemy of your enemy if you know what I mean, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's actually
I
something
don't
else we
want.
should be mentioning. The Reds fucking hate the Pathfinders.
Yeah, what do you guys know about Red Militia?
That's pretty much
Well,
it
they're
from
very
my part.
territorial.
Yeah, they're territorial and paranoid, but they're not like explicit bandits or anything. We discussed various topics at length. Mostly, Dutch wanted intel on the other factions. Rory confirmed with his own information what I'd heard up north about the Reds attacking the outcasts. Meanwhile, I made sure that Dutch also knew that he should be wary of the Arbiters as they were semi-bandits and allies of the Pathfinders. When we mentioned Ghost merely in passing, however, Dutch was actually able to give us some information about their current whereabouts.
Ghost, just for people who don't know about Ghost, Ghost were a group that it was probably the group that was most feared of all the groups on Survivalists. Like they were psychotic bandits. Like they were really they were sadistic. They had a female leader actually. No, they had several leaders. They had Leviathan, and then they had somebody else. But I think they had also a female known as Wraith, and she would be all like really freakish and almost do like she would be doing blood transfusions to her victims and like Corey, Motor Mouth Matrix said that she would be fingering herself while others were torturing their victims and all that. It was like really, just out there. So by this time, however, the ghost had disappeared pretty much. So that's why I just said that Dutch was actually able to give us some information on why they disappeared, possibly.
Apparently, after their departure from Deer Isle, Ghost had gone overseas and engaged in a series of conflicts with B-Tier. This was news to us, and apparently one of the reasons for which B-Tier was here. If it was because they were being pushed hard and had to seek out new lands, or if they wanted to gather information from Ghost's past acquaintances, I couldn't really tell, but whatever the reason, B-Tier wanted back on American soil.
And also, I want to add this. The fact that they were clashing with Ghost, that was not idle, like something that they just came up with. That was actually a fact. That war was going on another RP server. I think it might have been Existence or ceasefire or something like that. But yeah, I think it was a server that had the Chernarus map. I think they were clashing with Ghost on that. So it was actually interesting. We could treat the servers as different continents, basically. So groups could transfer between, just like you could transfer in real life between locations.
We're playing it in a sort of like chess way. So the problem that you guys are telling me is that Pathfinders are like the big bad guys, correct?
In the
They're like
south.
the
In the south.
Yeah, in the south.
so at the moment, um, as captain, I gotta look out for my group. We still gotta build armory, train a little few more people. But do you guys think that up north? You guys told me that some people have fought them here in south, but they eventually gave up and went up north, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Corey
What
fought
I
in the
see
past.
is B tier can act as a signal of hope and trying to encourage people to like come back to the south on the
Yes.
training of B tier.
I just love that wording, that beater can act as a signal of hope. Like, I know that it's a little bit simplistic to actually say that to us. It's simplified, I mean, just so for our convenience, so that we kind of understand where he's going with it. But if it had been like real life, it would have been like it would have smacked of hubris, you know, like Peter can act as a signal of hope, you know, like
That could
And
be it.
hopefully, I'm thinking this could be in the long run, say weeks time. But yeah. If are you guys what faction are you guys from? What group are you guys from?
We're just a family. A flat family of 3 guys.
Okay.
Well, we
But you guys
looking
live
for
up
the others.
north, right?
No, we
No.
live up near Oceanville.
Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah, we're right in their backyard, basically.
Yeah.
But
not true. Eli Carter told us as much, that the Pathfinder's domain pretty much stretched out to not further than Camp Eagle. Like the starter islands, both the North and South starter islands, were pretty much not their domain. Although, I did actually encounter the Pathfinders on Starter Island once. And I have an audio recording of when that happened. Fun fact, yeah, I'm going to be digressing a little bit here. Let me just tell about that. I had Discord not Discord. I had OBS recording when that happened. I had just respawned. I was running back to the homestead, and this was like when we were really new. We hadn't met anybody. The Pathfinders were the first group I ran into, and OBS was recording the sound, but not the camera footage, because I had forgotten to, like, you know, somehow I'd switched to a scene with just black screen. So the only thing that was recording was the sound. And I still have that sound file when I met up with them. And I can hear myself, like, when I play it. And I freaked out. I did not want to tell those people who I was. So I didn't introduce myself as Robin Burley. I introduced myself as the first name that came to me was Rodney King. You know, Rodney King from that, like, police brutality incident in American history. Like, I just introduced myself as Rodney King, and I took on this, like, weird, like, immigrant accent, like, I'm Rodney King, you know, like that. And it was so weird, because it just happened automatically, and I don't know where it came from. But yeah, so the very first time I met Pathfinders, I introduced myself as Rodney King. I don't know why. And they left me alone because they saw that I was a fresh spawn. So I was like, after that, I was like, dude, I was talking to Mehdi, like, in Discord. I'm like, you have no idea what just happened to me, you know?
I would say what telling you guys right now, please keep it confidential.
Oh, you bet.
We're gonna slowly start sending scouts up north, talking to communities up there. I'm sure some people will come out of those communities to fight and to help the campaign.
Yeah.
And the most important thing about this is secrecy. We
Obviously.
don't want anyone to we don't want any of the Pathfinders to hear that Beecher is growing an army behind their back. Because right now, I feel like the approach of you're good on that side and we're good on our side should be established between BT and Pathfinders for the moment. And then behind their back, we'll talk to people like you guys up north and hopefully grow the hope back. On
Sort
the
of
land.
shift the balance down in the Southlands. That's what it
Exactly.
needs.
Yeah. But as for right now, I don't know about Red, but I mean, if they can keep each other distracted enough for B tier to grow in the shadows, then I feel like that would be perfect.
That's a good plan, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, another thing. You're basically getting the lowdown here, but the forlorn families, they're the mafia.
I've never heard of these ones.
Yeah, I actually didn't mention this, Rory. This was when I was on my way back home. The forlorn families are apparently based in, I think, Mountainville.
Oh,
Hold up.
Someone's here.
Okay then. Dutch.
it's Commander Baguette.
Oh, okay.
Well, Commander
That's the guy I
Mike.
was referring to. I was trying to think of his name. I talked to this
Yeah,
guy.
Mike,
this is
right?
the commander.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize.
Commander's the
Hey.
party over.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's just B tier
Where are the
over there now.
Pathfinders?
Yeah, well, we're all here around the building. Well, two others outside.
Okay.
Do you know if Corey is still there? He's the sanctuary guy with the yellow armband.
No, he left. He left.
Yeah, okay.
Shit. I wanted to say goodbye.
Yeah, yeah, me too. He's a good guy.
Alright, never mind. Okay.
Are we sure Pathfinders are out of the area?
Well, I saw him left, so I'm pretty sure they left, but they might be still around. I don't know. I didn't follow them. Oh, speaking of
riddance.
here.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Where'd you get that?
That's actually it was a gift from Pathfinders.
Ag.
Wait,
Keep this
did
in
they
mind,
give
man.
you a
Gotta watch
gift?
out.
Yeah, they gave
Oh
us that.
man.
That's ironic.
One of them
Okay.
said,
Yeah,
Bribe.
this is gonna be really,
"Who's
really.
your best marksman?" I was like, well, that would be Dutch, and they gave us that thing.
Oh, those fucking insults.
I knew they'd fucking. do
There's.
this, man. I
Oh my
fucking
god.
knew
Okay, fine. Yeah.
it. Do we have any gifts that we can match?
Yeah. Right.
No, you
Right.
guys are fine.
Are you trying to say that they're trying to buy us?
No shit.
That's exactly what they're fucking doing, man. What you need to do is listen to how they say things, how they
Yeah.
talk. They're gonna talk about gifts, not trades. They're gonna talk about paying for protection. It's all in the words, the way they use, man. You gotta be careful with them.
At least if
I
you
tried to pull
are.
aside to tell you, but
Yeah. I mean, the way they have treated like the civilized person in the Southlands, it's just, it's a disguise for, like, they disguise it as, we're trying to establish a better community. But of course, we need the tribute for it. And they, it's taxes. They call it taxes.
Give us your nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say they're building a fucking hospital because they like to give
Yeah.
back.
For the kids.
Yeah, Baguette, these fine gentlemen have been telling me the whole timeline.
Sorry for
Oh,
dumping
before
so
we
much
start-
on you, by the way.
Yeah, right?
You're fine,
all
you're
good.
fine. I can
Don't worry about it.
analyze information. Before we start, Commander, what's your opinion on Pathfinders as of right now?
Well, to be honest, I don't know a lot about what's going on this server here. All I know is that they've been good to us when we saw them. That's all.
Kushville is their territory, right? But will they like attack solo bases outside their territory for
They,
quote unquote
Uh,
protection?
yeah,
the
they put up,
south is their playground.
yeah, they put up notes by boarded up doors saying like, you know, greetings, fellow, like neighbor. It's time to pay your
Smiley face.
taxes, and if you don't, we will come find you. It's like really like that tone of voice. I have that message at home. I should have brought it.
Yeah, why didn't I
mean,
do
you
that?
just like wander around, you'll come across faces. They'll still have the notes on them, things like that. Talk to the people you encounter, man. You'll get the same story we're telling you.
Yeah.
These guys are bad eggs. A lot of this,
Bad
the
eggs.
northern groups, man, they don't come down here. There's no real established presence. There's a lot of people in the south. They're just small, like the Burley family.
Yeah,
us.
like us. Yeah.
But and they're the only power group in the south, and therefore they're like swinging their big dicks around like they own the goddamn locker room.
Any other
They even pretended to have, or they claimed to have sort of like Bastion, which was one of the major, well, semi-major factions in their fold. Like they came by and paid their tax. We're actually going to be talking about them in a bit.
other allies from Pathfinders?
Not that I know of. You got any intel on that, Rory?
I think maybe if they had any allies other than just the arbiters, it's individual based. I don't think it's group based.
I mean, even Winter in New Haven was like, yeah, I'm friends with them, but just between you and me, don't trust them. Like, he was seriously like nobody trusts the Pathfinders.
For good reason.
I mean, they got charisma on their side.
Yeah, they're good
really do.
talkers,
I'll give it
definitely.
to them. They are.
In the end,
Yeah.
take this information and do what you want with it. But we just want to tell you this because we don't want you to walk into this and be all like, oh, hey, these guys are pretty friendly. You know, like.
Yep. If they take an inch, they're gonna take a mile. Or if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. That's it.
Well, we won't.
Yeah, be careful. Be careful.
Ooh, shivers on my spine. Into the land.
The deliberations seemed to be going well. Not only had we delivered our message to Captain Dutch, but now Commander Baguette himself was also in the loop. Wrapping it up, I put in a final suggestion on who to trust on the island. But anyway, I wouldn't trust Pathfinders or Arbiters. They're shifty as hell, and we pretty much know what the Pathfinders are all about. Civilized groups, Sanctuary, Duskar, and to some extent the Red Militia. Oh yeah,
Jury's still on that one, but
and the Riders. The Riders are
the Riders of Portland.
they're the strongest, but they're also like I don't know if they even bother with like the local politics of like they just basically
Yeah, I have to say this, like, throughout my entire time on Survivalists, which admittedly it was just like, well, what could it have been? Like 5 months at the most, maybe. April to September, pretty much. The writers didn't really do that much. I didn't really get any information about things happening with the writers. And the writers were apparently like the biggest group on the server. And I think the leader of the writers is also like the owner of the server. So, still, like, it was so weird. It was like the bear that was asleep. They didn't really do that much. But then again, I didn't know much of their inner workings, so I had no idea.
basically can do whatever they want almost. They're like the sleeping
never,
bear, basically. They drove off
Yeah,
the
you don't really
ghost.
see them all that often.
Yeah, I saw them in Sanctuary. They were actually pretty friendly, but they were also like, "Yeah, we're your pal, but just don't get on our bad side, you know."
Gotcha.
All right, there's about 13 minutes left. We're coming up to the place in time here where I can tell you about what happened here, which almost like broke me.
As the clandestine meetup was coming to a close, Baguette went for a piss. Meanwhile, coming out for a bit of fresh air, I dwelled on lingering thoughts about the safety of me and my brother, and I did voice my concern. However, Dutch told me not to worry.
Don't worry. Don't worry, we'll escort you out of town or to a,
Literally. Don't
where's
worry.
where's your home? Like, which direction?
Far.
Yeah, it's far. It's by
Don't worry.
Oceanville.
We could make our way. We can make our way.
Yeah, unless we. Yeah.
Maybe they were afraid about admin abuse. Almost in every Rust server, someone has been accusing the server owners about abusing. Yeah, but that's Rust. I mean, Rust isn't really RP friendly. Rust is just PvP pretty much. Here it's more like admins. If it's a serious RP server, admins tend to do a really good job of being neutral and being responsible. Rust is not that kind of a game. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I think the commander broke his leg.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
okay.
where he is. Where are you?
Oh yeah, he broke his leg. Baguette broke his leg.
Watch out. Oh shit. Oh.
Good. Hi. Yeah, I kind of slipped tried to come down the ladder, and yep, now my leg is broken.
How do you make a splint?
Well, here, I'll go find you a splint. I'll go get one.
I have sticks actually.
You can drop them. I got 4 rags. Does anyone have 6?
I have 4 rags too.
Oh no, wait, never mind. I guess it's enough.
Consider this like goodwill towards the Brothers of Tyr, you know? Just their commander breaks their leg, so it's like, okay, well, we'll you know, as a show of faith in this new alliance, we'll fix your leg for you, you know? That's so sticky.
From all the stuff you guys have told me today, let me ask you guys this: in the long run, would you be willing to fight under the right conditions against Pathfinder if we got enough
Duh.
people on board with this operation? I just want to like start a head count as to people who we can rely on and trust.
Well, dang. Why do you
mean-
think we told you?
Yeah, we kind of low-key wanted to start our own movement.
I mean, you're gonna find a lot of support in the smaller group.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're looking for: small groups to band together.
I mean, there's New Hope, there's New Moon, or not New Hope. Fuck.
New Hope. That's my old faction.
New Haven, and New Moon.
Outcasts.
Outcast, yeah. Outcast would definitely be in for that.
Yeah.
Whenever we meet with friendlies, we use a code word to justify our trust in them. So if I see you guys in the field, I'll reply. I always shout out peace, and you guys have to reply with power. Does that sound sufficient for you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, this was just so Milsim. You know, how kind of like in World War II, they do the like flash, thunder. And I don't know how useful that is going to be. Like, peace, power, when this is clearly like not really a military setting. We're still like just trying to survive. We're not at war yet. But yeah, maybe if we ever came to blows with these groups.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. If you
Right
guys
on.
need anything, you know where to go.
It feels a lot easier to breathe now.
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
There are actually supposed to be 1 or 2 factions down south, like by Stonington or.
Carter
around-
did say that there were cannibals also in Sunny.
Oh yeah, I know. He said by the docks.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, but yeah, Bastion. Apparently they got some huge ass fortress. I thought.
yeah, but
Am I
Bast-
thinking of the right group?
But here's the thing. Remember when we talked with the Pathfinders? They said that Bastion is basically, they pay their dues to Pathfinders.
Oh.
Whenever
Once in a while, Bastion rolls through here, and we're alright with it. They pay their taxes.
Yeah. Whenever they come by,
You know what?
they pay their taxes.
Yeah, here we still hadn't met with Bastion, so we didn't really know what they were about or if they were like, the subjects of the Pathfinders. Hey, Alex, how are you, man? Damn, those guys smoke. Yeah, I know.
That could either mean they're friends or
Yeah, or
they're
being.
subjects.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's I think they need a visit, find out where they stand.
Yeah, I want to do that so bad, but I don't know where they're based.
I don't know where the fuck Bastion is. Yeah.
Santa, we'll take a visit to the Red and see.
That would be worth the trouble,
See.
I think. Yeah.
Even though I don't agree with communism,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
we
lie
might
to you.
have a understanding of some kind.
Yeah.
Reaching agreement.
I'm doing good, Alex.
I mean, as long as
After
they're not
all.
bandits or cannibals, I mean,
We're doing some roleplay review here. This was recorded, I think, like last summer, like a little bit more than a year ago. And right now we're going through this. I'm trying to do commentary over this as well.
we can have
Yeah.
something going. Just don't come fuck with what we're trying to do.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do the toast now for our new alliance.
Oh, ball picker.
Oh, you read my mind, man.
You want some, Danny?
Yeah, let's
Alright,
cement this this
Bottoms
low
up.
key agreement with the toast.
Yeah.
The return of civilization to the south.
Oh
to
God,
the
yes.
religions itself. Oh my.
Is that how we're doing toast now?
I drank too fast, apparently.
Nice. The alliance was now a reality. Our first major success in retaking the South and the campaign towards liberation was now a fact.
Okay, so guys, here is the point where I'm going to tell you what happened. Because this is, after all, a commentary track, so to speak. I will now tell you about what happened here, which made me so freaking ashamed that after this, I seriously considered just quitting role-playing. What had gone on here had been so intense, it had built up suspense. I had pretty much, it was really fun. I was really into it. I was really engaged. I was in character, and we were finally finding allies. It was all perfect. And then I discovered something. I discovered that my radio transmitter on my character was turned on. And it had been turned on the entire time. And this conversation, which we had, like this secret conversation, highly clandestine, talking about sensitive subjects, like, secret alliances against the Pathfinders, all of that had been broadcast in the clear. Everything we'd said had been broadcast. This resulted in an attack on Westbrook by the Pathfinders. And that is what is going to happen next here. I managed to cut away that and cut it so that it's not apparent that it was actually my fault. But because I'd been so invested in that character, in this character, whatever happened, all of that, because I'd been so invested, this almost broke me that I made this mistake. I felt so guilty. I felt so ashamed that I remember it. I remember feeling so bad about that. And no, you could just say that, hey, it's just a game. But Alex, you know, when you role play, it's like a little world of its own, and you really want to be true to your actions in that world. You don't want to make stupid mistakes like that. So I was on the I'll level with you guys. I was on the verge of tears that night. I remember it so completely. I talked to Mehdi about it as well, and he was like, "Oh, that's not good. Oh, yeah," but he was trying to like, you know, console me a little bit and be like, you know, we'll see what happens tomorrow. The day after, I actually talked to these guys, Baguette and Dutch, and they said, because they were more experienced role players, they were like, you know what, that's fine. You know, mistakes like this happen all the time. So I was actually reassured that it wasn't that big of a deal. But that night, that evening, once I'd done that and I found out that the Pathfinders actually attacked, oh man, I hated myself. I kicked myself. I was like, fuck, damn. You know, it was because I took this so seriously. It was really horrible. I felt miserable. Whole new world where you did stupid mistakes just like that. He were on the words of tears with my fears had because yeah, exactly. Kind of, sort of. Yeah. So that was pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, I know. Right here, or like after this recording was done, I was really feeling miserable. So now you know, this is a commentary track. Now you know the secret behind the Westbrook incident, what had actually happened. I made it, I managed to cut it so that it wasn't apparent, but I'm gonna fade to black here now. And once we go back from black, you're gonna see a short while, you're gonna see that I'm actually holding the radio in my hand, because at that time I'd actually switched it off, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I need to switch it off. But I had to cut away like a lot of stuff, which would make it apparent that I'd actually fucked up pretty much. But as it is, I actually managed to turn it a little bit in the story so that you never really notice that. You never really know it if you didn't like have this like inside information. So yeah, let's keep going. It's just what is it? It's like it's not that many minutes left. It's just like maybe 5 minutes or something.
But then, just as we had shared a toast, something happened. Dutch had been getting radio chatter from his men.
Of course.
Unidentified attackers had been spotted just outside Westbrook, coming here fully geared. And it was believed to be the Pathfinders.
There's 3 people. Get down, follow.
This black screen here, it was necessary because I didn't like want to show what was going on, but it's gonna fade in just any moment now.
3 people on the road. Get up to the roof.
Damn it. God damn it. Yeah, that me saying God damn it, I was actually genuinely frustrated with myself there.
We could hear fierce gunshots ring out across the empty city. Dutch and Baguette ushered us onto the roof of the hospital, where we stayed prone for what seemed like an eternity. A few minutes later, Dutch would leave us to support his men, but before he left, he told us to stay hidden with Baguette, the very commander-in-chief, as our personal bodyguard, as they considered us vital to the movement. I didn't necessarily like the notion that others were putting their lives on the line for my safety, but I begrudgingly did what he said. It made sense, and I was obliged to follow their directions, as we were guests in their territory, and they felt responsible for us.
You hearing these gunshots? Seeing as how this is the commentary track, I might as well tell you as well, for the sake of this episode, these gunshots that you're hearing in the distance are not real. These are, well, I mean, these gunshots in video games aren't real, you know, at all, but these didn't happen in game. These were copy pasted by me into the audio track of the episode because I wanted it to have a feel of we are actually being attacked. But nothing really happened. Like in the game, we were on this roof for quite a while actually, and there was just silence. There was just radio chatter. I think Baguette was talking to the rest of the B tier. I don't know what was happening, but we didn't really hear any gunshots. So I kind of, you know, took some creative liberty and just added gunshots. And I did it meticulously as well. You can actually hear as I'm turning around on the roof here, you can hear the gunshots mostly coming from the south where B tier's compound is. So if you know the geography of Westbrook, you kind of know that, okay, that's where the gunfight is going on, but there is no actual gunfight going on there. I'm fairly proud of this because it gives off the illusion of there actually being a firefight. And the way I'm being knocked out as well, spoiler alert, is also completely fake. So just keep watching and you'll see what happens.
It seemed like the compound was coming under heavy fire. Unfortunately, considering our sensitive circumstances, we were pinned down on that roof and couldn't do anything. And then... I got nicked by a fragment, passing out on that roof.
None of that is true. This entire thing was edited, you know, by me. I had to do it like this because we logged off on the roof, and for various reasons, I had to, because I wanted the narrative to keep going, I had to do it like this. The next thing you see here is actually recorded on a different server. Because I had to do it like that because I needed some footage spliced into this episode which would like pick up the story after a while, like when I regained consciousness. So here we go. This is a different server.
I woke up much later, finding myself carefully stashed away in the hospital. My gear was gone, but I found a note left for me by my brother.
Okay. You're actually going to hear what the note says. Mehdi is actually reading the notes, and I am so proud and happy that I got Mehdi to read this for the episode. This was really cool. So this is my little way of explaining what happened without actually explaining in the episode.
Robin, Westbrook was attacked by the Pathfinders. I tried to help B tier, but there were just too many of them. Dutch and the others were forced to pull back. You got knocked out. I'd stay with you, but while on the roof I got a signal from Dex. I gotta go rendezvous with them. Can't let the little bastards stumble into the Southlands with all these crazies fired up.
That was a reason. That was like the excuse for why Rory, my brother, hadn't stuck by me and waited for me to regain consciousness. I had to make sort of like a creative excuse as a writer as to why he wasn't still with me.
I leave you here because I can't carry her fat ass back to the homestead. I left you food and water. Make your way home ASAP when you read this, and watch out for the Pathfinders. The fuckers are out in force. Somehow they got wind of B-tier's secret, but it seems like you and me are still in the clear. They know jack shit. Good luck, bro.
So, it had been the Pathfinders.
Yep.
Apparently, they had decided to scrub their diplomacy efforts. Either someone had tipped them off, or they had overheard something they shouldn't have.
Yeah, they'd overheard something they shouldn't have. You guessed it.
But it was clear that they had realized that B tier was not going to be in their pocket. I looked around, suddenly remembering that my gear was gone and finding it strange that Rory had taken it, before realizing, of course, that he couldn't have. Oh, shit. My gear must have been stolen. Possibly by someone thinking I was a dead walker. Oh, for fuck's sake, they even took my mung hard. God damn it. The city was once again quiet. I wondered how it all had turned out, but the signs were not good. As Westbrook was their domain, I nevertheless couldn't see B-tier patrols anywhere, and I didn't dare head over to their compound. That zone was too fucking hot. But it was clear that the Pathfinders had pushed into Westbrook while the Brotherhood had been forced to withdraw. I just hoped that Dutch and Baguette were alright. Not only did we need these guys, but we'd really warmed up to each other as well. As I thanked God and his mother for having made it out of Westbrook alive, I considered the situation. True, we had been in some serious trouble, but we had also been successful. Regardless of what had happened in the end, we had managed to accomplish what we set out to do. Because of our actions, any potential alliance between B-tier and the Pathfinders had now been smashed to pieces. And because of what we had told B-tier Command and the subsequent raid that followed, any further negotiations between the two factions from here on in was not gonna happen. A major threat to the people of the Southern Islands had been averted. I said it before, and I'd say it again. For now, we could definitely breathe a little easier. And with B-tier as an ally backing us up in the future, we truly didn't feel alone anymore.
There we go. That was episode 12, The Westbrook Incident. Alright, nice. Let me just shut that one off. There we go. Oh, good lord. Okay, so that was it. Alex, good night, guys. Take it easy and don't do anything stupid. No, we won't. But nice of you to drop in, man. Feel free to drop in whenever you want to. Have a good night, man. Okay, Elder talking about Giflar. Yeah. You're forgetting stuff like anything new. No, that's true. That's true. I'll give you that one. That vest with press reminds me of Castle, the TV show. Castle, the TV show? Okay, I'd never heard of that. Is that a Finnish show? Anywho, that is the Westbrook incident. I'm actually fairly relieved that I got to share with you guys what happened and what the story behind the Westbrook incident. To this day, it is one of my better episodes with the suspense. It's full of content. There's a lot of like, there might not be a lot of like action, but as far as role playing is concerned, this episode has a lot of like, you know, really good content for character development, for like I said, suspense, how you're building the story, etc., and also just like the problem of the Pathfinders running into us and all of that. So, and also I'm happy, like I said, that I finally got to like make a comment on this, well, roleplay commentary that like put everything straight, put the record straight. This is actually what happened, and it's nice to be able to talk about it, you know, at last. Nope, USA show. Nathan Fillion is crime writer who follows cops to get new stuff for his next book. When police use vest with police text, he gets his own vest with press text. Okay. Yeah, the press vest has been in DayZ for as long as I can remember. I think it's probably even like back in the Arma 2 days, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have Arma 2. I don't have any of the Arma games, but I do know that DayZ is sort of based on the Arma lore about like Chernarus and all that. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this episode of Roleplay Review. Next time it's going to be The Voice of the South, episode 13. That's a shorter episode, only 34 minutes. So we might actually do that soon, I think. It's not the most eventful episode, but it details kind of our end of the deal with the alliance against the Pathfinders, like what the Burley family actually did to contribute against the Pathfinders. The Voice of the South is... Okay, spoiler alert, but yeah, The Voice of the South is pretty much the pseudonym of my character, Robin Burley, when he transmits over the air. He becomes sort of a propaganda, anti-Pathfinder propaganda radio broadcaster. It was actually pretty cool to do that. But yeah, so that's gonna be in episode 13 whenever we do that. We'll see when we do that. That's it for Roleplay Review, and as some of you might know, we also did the last episode of our Addams Family playthrough for the SNES as part of the Super Nintendo Summer event. As you can see by this sun over here, which pretty much represents Super Nintendo Summer, we're in that phase right now. So I will be saying goodbye both for the Super Nintendo Summer episode and the Roleplay Review episode. Basically, guys, tomorrow we are going to be starting a new game. Let me just reiterate. Tomorrow we are going to be starting Lagoon, which is the chosen RPG for this year's Super Nintendo Summer. And yeah, we're going to start that tomorrow, Lagoon. And we'll do that tomorrow and Friday, and then on Monday we will keep going in GoldenEye for Nintendo 64. Hopefully I'll be able to beat that freaking prison level. We had such troubles with that this past Monday, but yeah, I'm dead set on doing that. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. If you want to, you can always join my Discord, which is reachable through that link. That is where you'll always get the latest news and updates regarding this channel, because that is our the official Discord for this channel. Now you can say thank you. Yes, Sotajumala, thank you. And thank you for watching. Thank you for dropping by. If you join our Discord, remember that it is highly recommended that you connect your Discord account with your Twitch account in order to get the proper roles, and you do that by managing integrations in the Discord settings. Also, remember to, if you want to, you can check out the progression list for the retro games through that link. You'll probably see some games that we have played before that you might want to check out when I did it, and you'll have like a link to the first episode of every game that I played in that list, accessible to the right in that list. So feel free to go and check that out as well. I also have some humorous comments made with some of the games. I will say, the streamer. Thank you for screaming. Yeah, no worries. And yeah, I know. No worries, man. No worries. Hope you're hope you'll have a good Thursday tomorrow. It is Thursday tomorrow, right? Yeah, okay. Hope you'll have a good Thursday tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow if you want to. Until then, remember to mind social distance and always keep the retro legacy alive. This is EagleBot83 wishing you the best. Take care, good night, and goodbye.